Ecosystem, Nutrient Cycle and Ecosystem Services Part 7. In this video, you will be studying about carbon cycle and phosphorus cycle along with ecosystem services. So nutrients are inorganic substances which represent usable form of essential elements. It becomes component of living beings called biogenetic nutrients. The repeated circulation of biogenetic nutrients between abiotic and biotic components of the ecosystem is called nutrient cycling. Biogeochemical cycling is another term used for nutrient cycles. Now, biogeochemical pools, cycling or the nutrient pool. It is a storehouse of a biogenetic nutrient that is used again and again by the producers, and it is continuously replenished by biological activity, including that of decomposers. Reservoir pool is a storehouse of biogenetic nutrient which is not readily available to the producers but can augment the cycling pool through slow transformation. Now, what are the types of biogeochemical cycles? We have gaseous cycle, sedimentary cycle and mixed cycle. Gaseous cycle, here the usable form of biogenetic nutrients involved in exchange between the components is gas or vapor. Hydrosphere and atmosphere are the nutrient pools. Example, water cycle and oxygen cycle. The turnover rate of these cycles are very high. Sedimentary cycle. The usable state of biogenetic nutrient involved in exchange between biotic and abiotic component is non-gaseous. The cycling pool is lithosphere. Example, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium, zinc and copper cycles. Mixed cycle. The biogenetic nutrient involved in exchange between biotic and abiotic components has both gaseous and non-gaseous states. Example, sulfur, sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide cycles, etc. Look at carbon cycle. Carbon is next to water in abundance. It occurs as free carbon dioxide in atmosphere and as dissolved carbon dioxide in the hydrosphere. Lithosphere is the reservoir pool. Carbon dioxide is added to the cycling pool of the atmosphere and hydrosphere through biological and abiological processes. Carbon is taken out of cycling pool of both atmosphere and hydrosphere by producers or photosynthetic organisms through photosynthesis. Oxygen is released as the byproduct which is utilized by all the organisms including plants for respiration. Carbon passes along the food chain in the form of organic compounds that go in the formation of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. A part of carbon is being removed from the cycling pool and passed into the lithosphere as skeleton, shells, fossils, formation and sedimentation of carbonates. Let's look into phosphorus cycle. Phosphorus cycle is a sedimentary cycle in which phosphorus circulates between biotic and abiotic components of an ecosystem, and in this cycle gaseous part is negligible. Phosphorus is a vital element involved in forming important biochemicals and structures like DNA, RNA, ATP, plasma membrane, teeth, bones, etc. Its cycling pool is small with fewer steps and fewer microbes. Availability of the element in the terrestrial habitat is low. Reservoir pool consists of rocks having rock phosphate and other phosphorus containing minerals. A small quantity of rock phosphate becomes available through weathering of rocks. Mining of minerals and using it as fertilizers also augment phosphorus supply. Phosphorus also becomes available from industrial waste formed during treatment of minerals and metals. Some detergents are rich in phosphates. In the soil, phosphate is locked up with iron, calcium, and aluminum metals. Phosphate is solubilized by root excretions and microorganisms. Phosphate is then absorbed by the plants as orthophosphate. From plants, it passes to animals. Bones and teeth of animals are rich in phosphates, which are broken down by decomposers. Phosphatizing bacteria change organic phosphate to inorganic phosphate. Aquatic ecosystems generally receive higher quantities of phosphates due to soil wash-off, detergents and industrial effluents. Part of it is used by the organisms while remaining gets deposited at the bottom. So from the phosphorus cycle, the last part of the video, let us look at the ecosystem services. What is ecosystem services? Now, mankind has been benefited from a multitude of resources and processes that are supplied by natural ecosystems. Collectively, these benefits are all known as the ecosystem services. For instance, if you look at the services that we get from ecosystem, they can be grouped as air purification, water, carbon fixation, release of oxygen, mitigation of floods, soil protection, biodiversity, climate, nutrient cycling, pollination, pest control, wildlife, tribals, grazing, etc. Now, all these can be grouped under four main categories: provisioning service, regulating service, supporting service, and cultural service. Now, Robert Constanza and his colleagues have recently tried to put a price tags on nature's life supporting services, and researchers have tagged at an average price of US $33 trillion a year. Now, all these things, when we are getting free of cost from the ecosystem without paying for it, we as responsible citizens and human beings, let us try to contribute our might in all possible ways in this race to save our planet Earth.